Hey boys and girls, how you doing? I bought a new shirt. How do you like that? That's some high class right there. Said the guy with $20,000 in medium format camera sitting on the table, right? Hi, how are you doing? I was at a Costco today, and some guy stopped and he looked at me with bug eyes. He goes, "Hey, you're the Fuji guy." He said, "I left Nikon for you and I got a Fuji." I was like, "Hey." It was really strange. And you can't make this up. I kid you not. I went to Myers, which is a grocery store right after that. I was in the self-checkout lane. There was like a 20-something African American guy next to me with glasses, and he says, "Oh, I know I recognize you." He said, he said, he said, "I used to watch your videos," and I started laughing. I said, "Used to, huh?" And he goes, "Yeah." That's pretty good. You gotta admit, that's actually pretty funny. Doesn't matter who you are. That's actually pretty funny. I have all of. It is pretty funny. Totally true stories, by the way. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I have all current three medium format Fujifilm GFX cameras here in front of me. I even have GFX tattooed on my hand. Look at that. I love this. I grew up with medium format. A lot of people have been wanting me to make distinctions and clarifications between these three. I'm going to sell off my GFX50S for the specific reason that I don't need two medium format cameras. I can't believe what they're going for now. They're going for between $3,600 to $3,800 on eBay at the very lowest price. And that's absolutely phenomenal. Let's first start off with the first iteration of Fujifilm's medium format cameras, the GFX50S. Unlike the tilting screen that you actually have on the 50R, we actually have a tilting and flip screen on the 50R. Currently, of course, I have the vertical grip attached. But the vertical grip for the GFX50S is absolutely wonderful. Also, too, you don't actually have to remove the grip or to access the battery. Actually, they're both left side access for the vertical grip battery, and also too for the primary battery on the camera. The GFX50S, just get down to the bare minimum, make this a simple video, is more capable for product photography with its tilting option screen. Also too with the tilt adapter, which doesn't come with the camera. The same as the tilt adapter, which is for use with the GFX100. You have the option of tilt swivel, the tilting adapter and it's perfect for letting you do portrait and landscape orientation and switching back and forth for tilting the viewfinder. I actually grew up with a twin lens reflex camera, and I'm used to shooting like this, looking down at my belly button and shooting like that, and I use both of these cameras that way, not the 50R, for obvious reasons. So it is more capable for that. My buddy in Paris, France, has a couple of these. The famous photographer Benjamin Kanyerik, yeah, he has a couple of 50Ss. He loves them. The 50S, however, is more prone to shutter shock. They actually fixed that to some degree on the 50R. They say, yeah, the GFX50S has a wonderful vertical grip. You also have more dial options for customization of how you can use the camera on the 50S over that of the 50R. I don't actually consider it to be bulky at all. It actually reminds me of about the size of a Nikon D4. That's with the vertical grip attached. I'm a big vertical grip fan, by the way, of course. Yeah, I'm going to sell off on my 50S. I don't really want to. Both of this and the 50R are almost equally capable. However, they're designed for different in-use purposes ultimately, and so far as their nuances are concerned. Let's go on to the 50R. This is a camera I basically waited over a decade before. It's actually literally, my favorite camera of all. Even over that of the 100. Even though the 100 it's a lot more capable camera, and I actually never waited so long for a camera that I wanted so much as the GFX100. But this is a very, very simple, by the way, I have insurance on all three of these cameras. But this is the camera I waited so long for. Just a simple brick, perfect for everything, and perfect for street and travel. This would be, if someone wanted to take just absolutely jaw-dropping landscape photography and they're backpacking or they're traveling light on the Euro Trail, Man, the 23 millimeter and this camera, I couldn't even imagine anything better than that. It's really impossible to imagine. There is nothing better than this for that. It's simplex brick. It has fewer user interfaces. It's certainly the most compact medium format camera that exists, digital that is anyway. It does have more dampened shutter shock. It is more simplex. There's not as many user interfaces. You don't actually have a flip screen. It is only a tilting screen, which is perfectly fine. All of these cameras use the same battery, by the way, and all of these use dual SD cards, of course. By the way, I've had so many, literally hundreds of people, especially now that this camera is on sale for $3,500, which is ridiculous. Just absolutely bat crap crazy ridiculous at $3,500 on sale, $1,000 off. I sound like a commercial, but I don't sell anything. Whatever you buy, I don't make a dime. So many people contacted me, they bought this camera. Every single one of them is just happier than a pig in poop, just happier than a woodpecker in a lumber yard. Yeah, those are crazy expressions, nevertheless. So many people bought this camera, and that's why so many people have been asking about which lens to buy. It's like, oh, what's your budget, and what do you mostly do? And what a great camera. Also, too, I'm not going to sell this one because this is what I waited so long for. I also blackened out a lot of stuff on this, and I kind of customized it to a certain degree. You actually add the hand strap on this, and it's a wonderful camera. You can't drop it if you adjust your hand strap correctly. This hand strap is called the GB001. It's designed for the Fujifilm X-T1. Everybody that has a GFX50R should actually buy this hand strap for obvious reasons. I think you can see why you should buy it. I think it's like $40 new or something like that. Also works perfectly on the Fujifilm X Pro 3 also, by the way. This is literally my favorite camera of all time, even over that of the 100, even though the 100 is a lot more capable camera. So that's the distinction between the GFX50S and the 50R. Getting on the 100, of course when this one was new, it was $6,500. Like I said, used now, the market used on this camera, I got fingerprints on the back, used the market on this camera is about $3,800 on the low end. Basically the same on the 50R. There is no used market on the GFX100, at least not yet anyway. $10,000 new. World's first IBIS medium format camera. This is also too a backside illuminated 102 megapixel camera. The world's first fast focusing medium format camera. There's a lot of world's firsts on this. It has an integrated vertical grip. I mean, I grew up with the Nikon flagship camera. This camera is no damn bigger than a Nikon D4 is. And of course it's faster autofocus than the Nikon D4, which is, a significantly older friggin' camera. Absolutely awesome for product. Any of these will do product photography and crucify it, however, but I mean this one will really do it. Corporate, it's great for moderate action, sports, which you can't say about any medium format camera because they're not designed for that. Ideal for archival photography. Great. The video on this thing is absolutely incredible. I posted video samples up last year. It is a serious tool, though, that you purchase. You either purchase this camera for one of two reasons. You got the money, you could justify it, or you're rich and, money doesn't mean anything to you, or you're going to put this camera to work and you're going to make it pay for itself, and it will do that in short order, actually. There's more than a few people that bought this and their camera, the GFX100, paid for itself, just like that overnight, and I mean that literally. To me, the GFX100 is the perfect camera. I mean, it's not the most ideal for sports action wildlife, which no medium format is, but this is the world's first fast-focusing medium format camera. Like I said, it's not that big at all. It's no bigger than a Nikon D4 is. But these are the primary differences. There are some little subtle nuances between the two, and the menu systems are more extensive on the GFX50S than they are on the 50R. But when the 50R came out, the 50S was still relatively new. To justify the significant price difference between the two, other than, the tilting adapter, there has to be more in the 50S than there was in the 50R. And even though the 50S is a more capable camera, like I said, the 50R is the one that it's just a very subjective statement, is the one that I waited the longest for. Yeah, but this camera is incredible. I've never waited so long for a camera as I have this one. The reason why I actually have a Velcro loop on the front of the body cap is so when I actually take the body cap off, it's very flimsy and slippy. Slippy is a word, yeah, slippy. That you could actually tilt the body cap into the sensor and scuff the sensor. So when I actually take the body cap off, you know, I have this pinched in so I could remove it without the case of the body cap falling into the sensor. That's the reason why that's there. Yeah. Doesn't interfere with anything. It's a perfect grip loop. Because unlike other cameras, full frame and crop sensor, when you take the body cap off, even if you try to stab the sensor with the body cap, you can't. But with the GFX, because, you know, it's a large opening, yeah? You can stab the sensor with the body cap. Absolutely you can. Anyway, I hope you liked this video, and thanks so much for watching. These are the distinctions, differentiations between, the primary ones anyway, between Fujifilm's 3 medium format cameras. And by the way, in case you didn't know, since I've said it 1,000 times in 1,000 videos, Fujifilm now literally owns the digital medium format market. They own it. Not like some or a little bit or a lot. They own it, period. They literally own it. There are more medium format cameras to come. There are more lenses to come. I have all current 10 lenses. There are 2 more that have been announced, the 30mm and the 80mm, which is basically a short version of the 110. Those are coming. That'll make 12 lenses. I know that they're working on a tilt-shift lens of some variety. That will be real expensive. All tilt-shift lenses are really expensive. And it'll be manual focus too. But, you know, so what? So are Nikons. It's the nature of the beast. When, you know, a lens does this number, you know, you can't. But, yeah, these are great cameras. I shot the hell out of all 3 of these. I love medium format so much. Photography school, everything was 35mm. It's like, the only reason you shot 35mm was for its speed, essentially. But, you know, it's like you're just biding your time until you could buy a medium format camera. That was a fact. It's like, oh, you finally made it. You got a medium format camera. There were cheap medium format cameras even back in photography school in the early 1990s, you know. You know, twin lens reflexes, the Poe folks like me and the rest, you know, we had twin lens reflexes and other cheap old medium format cameras, which are great, you know. For still life, who gives a damn, you know. You don't need autofocus. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you like these videos. If you do, send me any questions in the links below. Wait for it. Fujifilm.